G'day everybody, it's Max and welcome back to Icarus. And in this episode, we're going to talk about the three main things you need to be focused on in the early day of the game. And that, of course, is your oxide for oxygen, food, and water. And of course, we want to talk about the early pieces in the tech tree and things that you're going to want to grab right away to make those things possible. So as once you then get set up, then you can do all the wonderful things like build big structures and collect all the wood and all the cool stuff. Let's get in there. Let's get to it. Hey there, prospector. How are you? And welcome to Icarus. What's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to run around like a mad person with the F key. That's right. Anything you can pick up with the F key is what you're going to do. If there's brush, if there's stones, if there's twigs, anything at all, you can pick it up. You're going to run around with your F key, and you're going to pick up these twigs and these leaves and the rocks. Make sure you pick up lots of rocks, okay? You need at least 6 rocks, some twigs, and some leaves to get started. And the reason is because this wheat and stuff all looks really cool to have. Nah, ignore that, okay? What you want is you want ferns, you want small trees and stuff. And another thing that you want to keep an eye out for when you first land on the planet is this oxide deposit stuff, these little stones. This will give you some free oxygen and stone right away until you can get mining it. Now you need at least 6 stone before you can craft your first pick. And finding stone on the ground can be really tough at times. So you definitely want to find 6 stone, get some twigs and leaves together, and then the very first thing you should be crafting is a stone pickaxe. And that's because as soon as you have a stone pickaxe, you know what you can do? You can mine stone whenever you want. That's right, you want to bang away at stone rock and get more stone. It will save you so much time digging around on the ground to try and find it. Now, of course, sticks and reeds, of course, you want to be picking up even more of, because the next thing you want is you want to be making an axe, a spear, and a stone knife. And, of course, you're going to need those items. Now, I'm going to run down here, and we're going to talk about water in a second. We'll just have a drink of water. Now, the reason that we want the spear and the stone knife, and I believe to get the knife, you're going to have to get the spear and the stone knife as soon as you get a level 1. Now, the best way to do that is to run around, keep using your F key, keep collecting all that brush, keep collecting all them twigs, keep collecting all that stone. Make your stone pick, make your hatchet, get to level 1, and then get your wooden spear and get your stone knife. Now, you've got to focus on your 3 main priorities, and that is oxygen, food, and water. That's it. Your first days here on Icarus are all going to be about getting enough oxygen from the oxide rock. You're going to get enough food, and that's why we're standing here at the water. And of course, you need water, which of course, again, is here at the water pit. Now, in this case, your easiest food source, besides the few berry bushes you'll come across, is fishing. Fishing is a fairly easy resource to get at, right? Yeah, come here, you. Oh, he was very tricky. Use your shift key to swim a little faster, and then you can get him. Oh, man, I'm really bad this morning. Come on, dude. Just die already there. And, of course, you can pick up that fish by using the F key. Boom, like so. And, oh, you got to watch these ankle biters, though. The ankle biters are bad, all right, for 2 reasons. One, there appears to be some kind of bug where if the ankle biters fall all the way to the bottom of the lake, you can't pick them up. So them orange fish you can, but the ankle biters you can't. Now you can pick up the ankle biters, the blue fish. I guess they're like some sort of piranha. You can pick them up if they're still falling in the water. You can F key them and get them. But it is kind of tricky to do, so make sure if you're going after the blue piranha fish that you're able to get them either on a rock shelf or catch them in the water with your F key before they fall to the bottom of the lake. Otherwise, they seem to disappear and you can't get them. It looks like I got to inventory and craft something. So we're going to come over here, we're going to craft it, make sure we have the elements, and this is why we ran around getting all that fiber and stick, because of course we now have the ability to craft our 4 main materials here of the axe and the pickaxe, of course, and the spear and the knife. Now, one of the things I like to do soon after that, of course, is get the campfire, because you need to cook that fish for nutrition, and then work towards getting your wood bow and your stone arrows. Now, the reason the bow and the arrows isn't because you're going to be chasing all these animals around. That's a waste of your time. You want to look for wolves, all right? Wolves come at you. These guys run, and they run really fast. So unless you're going to spend all kind, like, see that guy? He looks all cool, right? You think I'm going to chase him around all day? I am not wasting the day on him at all. I'm going to try and find the occasional wolf and stare him down, and I'm going to use my bow and arrow on him. Yes, you should have a little food on you to make sure that you're going to be okay, but in this particular case, the wolves are a lot easier to get fur from than chasing these other creatures down until you get much higher stats. We are about to run out of oxygen, so again, let's have a look at inventory, and this of course is why we were collecting this oxite. And of course we can consume the entire stack, and it's not really enough, but I have plenty more here in the cabin. We can go grab some in here. Your days should be pretty straightforward on 3 things when it comes to your 3 resources. In the very beginning of the morning and in the late day is where you should be working on your O2, your food, and your water. Never try to do that stuff at night. Trying to find oxygen and food in the dark is a real pain, especially on your first or maybe second day. Don't do it. You'll die. You will die lots and lots of times, and it will be very sad, and you will be very sad. So, make sure you have the ability to go through and collect this stuff first thing in the morning, and what I would say is around later in the evening, before it starts to get dark. So when it starts looking like this in the evening, it's time to go running around, collecting your oxite, collecting that food. Make sure your oxite and your food are really good. The water, yes, you can get that in the middle of the night if it's really dark. You can make your way down to your water source, and you can just have a drink and you're good to go. But finding food, finding oxite and food in the dark, like trying to fish in the dark, is near impossible. Trying to find animals in the dark, near impossible. You just won't be able to do it, and if you don't have enough, you're going to die and you're going to regret it, right? At the same with the oxite. Until you have a good stash of oxite up, like I do currently, do not risk running out. It's bad. It's all bad, right? And so what you want to do is, for at least the first few days, or the first days on the planet, you want to make sure that you spend your mornings and your evenings getting the 3 important resources of O2, food, and water. And then, of course, once you've done that, now you can actually start working on expansion. You can start doing things like collecting more resources, getting iron and copper, mining all the things you want. But as long as you've got your 3 focuses on your O2, your food, and your water every morning, you're good to go. Now with that, let's do a quick switch over here, because in the darkness, it's a little easier just to stay in the cabin and talk about the tech tree. Okay, since it's nighttime, and during the night it's always kind of a little hard to do anything out in the outside in the general area, let's talk about the tech tree and the things we did to get into this point. Now, under the tech tree, one of the first things you're definitely going to want to need is a wood spear and a stone knife. Now, the reason that is that the wood spear allows us to go get fish right away, okay? Don't be trying your superhero looks and stuff, chasing around all these animals. Don't bother. It's not worth it. Go for the fish. The fish are an easy food resource. They also provide bones, though I don't have the oxidizer as of yet. It's one of those things. Bones are a thing. Leather's a thing. But the wood spear will give you bones, it will give you food, and fishing is a really good, easy resource to deal with at the start. Now, you do need the stone knife as well, because once you do start to try and get into hunting actual animals, you're gonna need that knife to strip them down, right? So then you can get the fur and the things, and then of course you can make a bedroll, and you can make the oxidizer, or whatever it is you need fur and bones and that kind of stuff for. So in this case, the first things you want to be crafting is a wood spear and a stone knife. Now, right after that, I would be definitely going for campfire. And of course, obviously, if you're catching them fish, you're going to need campfire. So obviously, you get wood spear, stone knife, campfire, you're good to go. Okay? Now, right after campfire, wood bow and stone arrow is my next choice. And the reason that is because wood bow and the stone arrow, of course, are better weapons, right, than just a spear. Now, you'll be very tempted to go chasing around all the deer and the things, but you know what? Make sure you have some extra food on you and go after the wolves. First of all, the wolves don't run away. They run towards you, okay? Second, using the control key to crouch. When the wolf comes to attack you, if you're crouching and shooting, you get bonus damage. So you would crouch, keep shooting that wolf, you'll keep hitting him, and if you have extra food on you and you have a few bites of food, if you're getting low on health, that will top you up, and then the wolf is yours. Now, then that's of course why you need the stone knife. The stone knife allows you to strip the wolf, get the fur, get the bones, get the meat, you're good to go, okay? So with that, I would say wood spear, stone knife, campfire, wood bow, stone arrow. After that, of course, you can start to explore other things. By then, you're probably going to need the wood rag torch. You might even need that before the wood bow. And if that's the case, go for it. It just means that throughout the night, your first night, you're probably going to work on your experience and keep chopping trees down or keep collecting foliage. Okay, again, one of the very first things you do on this planet is you use your F key and you run around like crazy and you collect stuff. So keep doing that. It's not a lot of experience, but it's more experience you need. So keep doing that. Also, a small wood crate comes in very handy. You're going to run into weight limits really fast, and if you don't start putting this stuff away into crates, make sure you don't empty the crate every time like I do, because I do that all the time. Of course, make sure that you take your crates and start sorting them out. Get yourself organized. Make sure you have all your things. Now, with that, let's cut on over to what it is you could actually do at night. So one of the things I like to do at night is wood cutting. Now, the reason is because during the daytime, you need to be able to see a lot of things going on, right? You need to be able to find ore resources. You need to be able to find fishing and oxalite or oxite. You need to be able to find a lot of things in the daytime. But one thing you can do at night that's actually pretty easy as long as you keep switching back and forth is chopping trees. It's actually fairly easy. I just tend to keep switching between my torch hotkey, which I have set as 6, and my stone axe, which I have set as 2. And of course, this allows me to just keep chopping trees, collecting wood, and of course, then I can just switch back to my torch to see where all the wood is, and then just keep collecting it up. I will always make sure that I kind of chop as much of the tree around where my hut or my shelter is. That way, of course, if I do need the shelter unexpectedly or really quick, I can get into the shelter and I don't have to worry about being exposed to the elements or any creatures or anything like that. So that makes things really, really fast, right? So in this case, I'm just going to collect up this wood. I'm waiting for the daytime to come. And that is one of the big things I do at night, is I just tend to do a lot of collecting of wood and really close resources at night. Like, for example, I do have copper and oxalate here, and stone, so I could collect that because the hut is right there as well, but I tend to save that stuff for daytime hunting because you can see it so much better in the daytime. And of course, wood just sticks out even in the middle of the dark, so it's pretty good that way. As a final wrap up just to this little episode, in this particular case, weather events right now aren't the end of things, right? That's strange. That shouldn't have put that campfire out. Activate that. Yeah, you just keep right on going, mister. Oh, okay. It's possible that I need to actually fill in some of these holes. But in this case, weather events overall right now in the early beta stages aren't exactly bad, right? So light rain, yes, it does give you storm exposure when you're outside where it says you're in no shelter. But it's not really hurting you in terms of health or anything of that nature. So as long as you don't mind working in kind of the messy conditions, it's kind of okay. So with that, I'm Max. This is Icarus. The things you should be watching for in your early days, make sure you keep an eye on that oxide, the food, and the water, because of course those three things, believe it or not, they will catch you off guard really, really fast. When you first land, make sure you collect up all the goods. Use your F key to collect anything and everything off the ground as quickly as possible. Get them first tools made. Get your priorities started on your O2, your food, and your water. And then you can start working on the luxury stuff, if you can call a log cabin a luxury. And I will see you on the next one. Take care.